All right, so our topic today is what was the significance of the 1946 governor's race? And this goes with standard H11 when we're looking at just the first part of element A. The 1946 governor's race is also known as the three governors controversy. And there are four people that are our main characters. Eugene Talmadge, who actually won the election. Herman Talmadge, who is Eugene Talmadge's son, and he had lots of write-in votes. Melvin Thompson, who was elected lieutenant governor in 1946, and Ellis Arnold, who was the governor at this time during the 1946 election. We just talked about him in the last lesson. The results of the election were Eugene Talmadge, the clear winner as governor, and Melvin Thompson becoming lieutenant governor. It's called the three governors controversy because it's one of the most embarrassing situations that comes up in Georgia's history. Now, as you can see from the results, there was a clear winner and a lieutenant governor was elected at this time, but we have a problem. Eugene Talmadge dies before taking office. So just like with our presidential elections, the president is elected in November, but doesn't actually take office until January. Well, it's the same kind of situation. So we have this new question that comes up. Who becomes governor now? Two groups began to form. Well, the first group, who had a suspicion that Eugene Talmadge could die either shortly before or just after taking office, found an old law that said that the General Assembly in Georgia can select the person that has the second or the third, select the person that has the most write-in votes or the most votes, the second or the third person. Well, during the election, many people wrote in Herman Talmadge's name. Well, Herman Talmadge never even ran for governor. He was the campaign manager for his father during this, but he actually was the second most vote getter because of write-in votes, and that, in effect, according to this, made him the governor of Georgia. Well, the second group has to do with Melvin Thompson. Melvin Thompson was elected to become the lieutenant governor. And Georgia had a new constitution at this time. It's the 1945 Georgia Constitution, and it states that the lieutenant governor would become governor if something like this ever happened or if the governor died. So Melvin Thompson, who was elected lieutenant governor according to the Georgia Constitution, would become governor. So now, how do we get the three governors controversy? While these two men are battling out who was going to become governor, and both of them said that they were the official governor of Georgia, Ellis Arnold throws himself into the mix. Well, he was the current governor during this election, and he takes a stand and says, I'm not leaving. Until you can get this problem solved, I'm not going anywhere. And it reached a point where there were physical fights between the people that supported Ellis Arnold and the people that supported Herman Talmadge. And Herman Talmadge actually came in and brought troops in to have Ellis Arnold escorted out of the Georgia State Capitol. And he went through into the governor's office and changed the locks on the doors. And Ellis Arnold was furious and went back into the Capitol, found another office, and set up a second governor's office. So now you have three men that are claiming to be the governor of Georgia. Well, eventually Ellis Arnold gives up and throws his support behind Melvin Thompson. And the end result is Melvin Thompson did remain as governor in 1946. And by this time, we're almost a year into his term. And there was a special election held in 1947, just like a redo. And during that election, Herman Talmadge was elected governor of the state of Georgia. So the reason that this event is put into this standard, because this standard starts to usher in the civil rights movement in Georgia. But as we studied with Ellis Arnold, we associate him with progress. He's the one that went in and took down all the whites only and colors only signs in all of the public buildings. So we're starting to see more progress as far as civil rights. But with the three governors controversy, with the election of Herman Talmadge, we start to see that segregationist attitude come back into the government, and that's going to play a very large role in what happens in Georgia during the civil rights movement in the next decade. So you have a couple of options. You can continue researching, go to the Georgia Encyclopedia website, and I would like for you to read more about each of these men, get to know a little bit about their background, and then you need to come back to the essential question: what was the significance of the 1946 governor's race? You can handwrite your response to this, or you can upload your Google Doc to Google Classroom.